Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading for what you need to know about this connection. Initially I had planned for this to be like a romantic connection because, you know, February, Valentine's Day, love and romance, all that good stuff. Different things came through in the cards. Different piles had very different readings, so super interesting. If you're single, part of a couple, even like platonic or familial connections that you have questions about, this is the reading for you. Before we jump into things, there are a few announcements, just general business that I wanted to share. If you're not already following us on Instagram, I invite you to. We do monthly votes on what you want to see in terms of these general readings. So if you have a few ideas, then feel free to weigh in there. I always like hearing your ideas and feedback, so we keep those channels open. If you enjoy my reading style, that's fantastic. I'm really glad. I do offer personal readings, so if you're looking for something a little less general than these pick a card readings, then you are more than welcome to schedule something with me. I will put a link in the description box below so that you can go directly to my website with services. I will mention that starting March 1st, I will be raising the prices on personal readings. So for those who book with me before March 1st, I will be honoring the $25 that it's at now. If you're curious about kind of like what's the difference between a general reading on my YouTube channel and a personalized reading, well, a lot. First of all, a personalized reading is, well, personal. You know, it's specialized to you. You can ask whatever questions and I will continue to give clarifiers or help you make sense of the cards and the information that is being shared with you. So it's a one-on-one session and it can be on any topic that you like. You have an hour time span for the reading with me, and on top of that, if the reading is done through Zoom, then I can send you the recording so that you can look back on it, and you will also get a full written document. I think normally the documents end up being like 7 pages of information and insight, as well as the layout and spread of the cards that came out for you, so you can keep that for your files and reflect on it later. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the usual business. If you're new to pick a card readings, then this is how it works. First, I'll be displaying different piles with different crystals on them. I'll go through each of the piles and give you a little bit of time to decide which one really resonates, which one stirs you intuitively. Whichever one it is, you can pick that and then scroll down to the description box below where there will be timestamps for each given pile. You can skip the other piles that didn't resonate and go directly to yours. Since this is a general reading, I do advise that not all the information is going to be meant for you. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That being said, if there are a couple piles that you feel are kind of pulling your attention, feel free to watch them. There might be messages in both piles for you. For today's reading, we're going to be talking about what you need to know about this connection, as I said, but I also want to say that on February 14th, Valentine's Day, as my gift to you, since I have so much love and appreciation for everyone who watches these videos and supports my business and this channel, I'm going to be doing a special reading for self-love. If you want a notification about that, feel free to hit the subscribe button and click the little bell. Alright, without further ado, let's get into your reading. Hi again, friends. So I lied, we're not gonna jump in quite yet. I just wanted to say that I'm doing a different layout for this one. Please let me know if you want me to continue this layout, because I think it's kind of nice to be able to see the cards all laid out, but also there are some drawbacks. I consistently change my position, so the audio is kind of weird, and I'm sure I'll get better at it over time. I just have anxiety that the camera's not recording because I've definitely been there. So if you hear audio changes throughout the readings today, I'm sorry. I will try and do better next time. In the editing stages, tampering with it is only making it worse. So anyways, that is all. Okay, enjoy your reading. Here are the 4 spreads for this month's pick a card reading. As I said in the intro, there will be a reading on February 14th for Valentine's Day, and that will be the self-love reading. But for today, we're going to be looking at what you need to know about this connection. So if you have someone in mind, or you just want to keep it open to the universe, that is perfectly fine. Just think about them as you're looking over the different piles and pick the one that resonates. So the first pile here we have lapis lazuli. The second pile we have peach moonstone. The third pile we have carnelian. And the fourth pile is green aventurine. So feel free to pause the video if you need more time to decide. And once you have made your selection, jump to that part in the video. I will leave the timestamps in the description below. Hello my group ones. If you picked the lapis lazuli, this is your reading. And I have the oracle on the sides here, so we'll be pulling those as we go through the reading, just so that you can see it sort of live in action. But I did pull some tarot cards for you, and we're gonna get started with that. So, we're gonna start with the Book of the Dead Tarot, as per usual. So the first card I have is the King of Swords. Next, I have the Three of Cups and the Ten of Wands in reverse. So for the King of Wands, in the upright position, it represents like a natural leader, or like someone who is honorable and probably has a lot of like artistic vision. So if the person that you're asking about is sort of the kind of person who really pushes to make their own way in the world, then I guess you picked the right pile. The King of Swords also represents an entrepreneur, so this person might have their own business or is like quite entrepreneurial. Maybe they even sort of treat your relationship as like a business partnership. Maybe like you're involved with them, or how you know them is through business, or you look to them as like a business guru of sorts, so maybe you go to them for that kind of thing. Otherwise they might just be like a really interesting, like visionary kind of person, so you might have conversations with them about that. The Three of Cups is a really, really great card because it represents like celebration and that creativity as well. So like these two cards together, the visionary, they're probably like a very, very creative person, which is great, especially if you're also creative, because this card also represents collaboration. So this might be like a really good work partnership, or you know each other through work or something like that. Yeah, this card is also a representation of like friendship. So this person may think of you as a friend, but there is like kind of a flip side to this, because with the Three of Cups, like it is celebration and stuff, and it is commonly viewed as friendship. The Two of Cups represents love and partnership, and then the Three is kind of like a third party situation. So I'm not sure if it resonates, then take it. If it doesn't, leave it, that's fine. But it may be that there's like a third party, and this might not necessarily be a person. This might be like a third thing. Like if you're already involved with this person, then it might be something that's kind of distracting them from this connection. It could be another person. It could be even like business. right now that's kind of taking the lead here, because it is in the first card placement. So like if they are an entrepreneur or they're really focused on their job, then that might be kind of what's taking hold. But whoever this person is, they see you as like a really, really important friend, and probably someone that they can rely on, like with their successes, to like they'll go to you and be like, oh my gosh, like this and this and this just happened, you know, like talking about their business success or like what's going on in their work world. Because I feel like this might be a really business oriented person, or like they'll come to you with their ideas and want to share that. So yeah, they really like confide in you, I think, which is really, really wonderful. But at the same time, like with the three kind of being like, you know, the saying like three's a crowd, that's kind of what I'm getting. So you might, maybe you're watching this reading because you already feel like there's some sort of distraction, or like you're not really sure what the other person is thinking, so you want some insight. And yeah, like they do, from what I'm seeing so far, they do see you as like a really great great friend and companion, and like they want to celebrate their successes with you. They're just really focused on like their job or whatever they're building right now. So yeah, it might be something that kind of gets in the way. But yeah, I'm seeing with the Ten of Wands too, the Ten of Wands in reverse is like that feeling of doing everything on your own. I think this came up in last month's reading as well, maybe in one of the other decks, but yeah, it just feels like they're doing a lot. So this might also go with like the King of Swords, because they, like if they're an entrepreneur and they've started their own business and stuff, they're taking on a lot, and they don't, like when you're starting a business, you can't really hire anyone right away. So they have to do like social media and like all the financial stuff, bookkeeping, packaging, shipping, whatever it is. Like if they're an artist, they have to do all the works and then promote, and there's so many steps to it. So they're probably feeling like it's just a lot to take on, and like that's kind of where their attention's going. Like oh, this is actually really interesting too, because like you can see in the King of Swords card here, like he's got the sombrero, and then here, like the same kind of placement, he's also wearing a sombrero. So if we like take that imagery and look, and the red from this lady, I guess, matches this card, and it's on this side, like his focus is on that. And I say his, but you know, could be a man, woman, non-binary person, whatever. So yeah, this character, whoever you're asking about, is focused on sort of the elements of this card, which is carrying that burden. Not a burden necessarily, but just like doing all the work. And they can't really delegate, but you know, with that, like it is what they want to be doing, I think. So yeah, I think they're not necessarily looking for something serious if you're looking into like a love connection right now. Like they definitely care for you. Like the connection with the Three of Cups is super strong in like that celebration, and they have joy towards you and your connection. It's just right now their focus is on sort of building their own livelihood. So we're gonna pull the other cards for you. I've got the Moon and the Three of Wands. So with the Moon card, that's part of the major arcana, and it represents like illusions, fears even, sort of the things like during the night you think about and you're like, oh crap. So anxieties, I guess. But also there's an element of intuition, like subconscious intuition with this card. So I feel like if this is a romantic connection, this person probably has like, maybe is aware that you're interested, and I hope that doesn't give you anxiety, but like, with the celebration card too, like the Three of Cups here, I mean, it's not a bad thing, if they do know, even if the artwork on this card is a little dark, but there's like a lot of anxieties and stuff that they're working through right now, which kind of takes their focus, or maybe if they have feelings for you that are stronger than just like the friendship card, which we'll see, I'm sure, with the Oracle and everything, then they might have some like fears about moving into any kind of like romantic situation or something. Okay, we've got a pretty even spread. No pentacles yet. So yeah, I'm seeing cups, which represents water, wands, which represents fire, and then swords, which represents air. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The cups is Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. And then wands would be Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. So if you know their zodiac sign, then maybe that carries some relevance for you. Yeah, you've got a couple wand cards, so might be heavier on the fire sign energy or something, but we'll also see with the actual astrological, I can never get this word right, astrological oracle cards. We'll hopefully see some signs come out there. But yes, so the Three of Wands upright means like there are opportunities. This person is thinking of the future and like progress with themselves, maybe even like the internal progress if they're working through their own fears and anxieties in terms of relationships, or you know, progress with the business that they're trying to build, or like work if they're trying to get a promotion, that kind of thing. I'm feeling that really centered, which is really interesting because like with this card and like kind of the meaning as it was coming through, I got like almost Capricorn energy, which is an earth sign, because Capricorns are generally like pretty focused on their work and like that dedication to doing a good job. So interesting that that came through in the beginning and literally no pentacles came out. But yeah, with the Three of Wands, they have ideas and stuff. Like they're pretty imaginative. Like I said, the visionary, even with this, like I think about dreams and stuff with this card too. So they probably have dreams and stuff that they're working towards, and maybe even because of previous relationships, they're like worried to get involved because, you know, they don't want someone who's going to necessarily need a lot of attention or reassurance when they know that they can't provide it at this point. So yeah, there's like, with this card, they're thinking ahead. Oh, interesting. Okay, so with this card, I'm thinking of like Aries because we have the ram here. So they might have like, even if they're not an Aries, like you might see Aries energy come through them where they're like a leader and like very passionate. They just kind of go for things, you know? So, and maybe that's something that you find really admirable in them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing that there is a potential here because there's also like the heart in the center of the table. So it is out of reach of like the main character that we have going through here, but it is on the table. It's just, I think right now there's something else. I've been saying it as like a business thing just because of this, but it honestly could just be like a personal project, self-development, something that they're working on privately, that needs their attention right now. So they're kind of like noting the connection, and they'll continue to share their successes and stuff with you because you're someone who I think that they connect with, but there is like a fear and anxiety of sort of letting that work go to foster a connection right now, which is something that they can't do. Yeah, they want to progress on their own things first, but like I said, group ones, with the Three of Cups card, it's like you are an important person in their life. So we're gonna shuffle the Astrological Oracle cards. Had to pause to be able to say that. So, all right, could I, oh, okay. Oh, interesting. So I pulled the Pluto card first, or rather it jumped out, and Pluto represents like rebirth and transformation. They might be going through like an ego death, kind of, if they're spiritual. Even if they're not spiritual, they're probably like facing this moment of like having to let parts of themselves go, which makes a lot of sense with like the moon card. They're having to release, oh, because this card also represents release too. But yeah, they're having to release a lot of their fears and anxieties around maybe their business, maybe like developing a relationship. I'm gonna try and get a card for the astrological sign, zodiac sign of this person, and see if that kind of resonates for you. Okay, this one's sliding out. So Venus is the other card that came out. So Venus is the ruling planet for Libra and Taurus. So this person may be a Libra or a Taurus. With the Venus card too, like Venus represents love as well. So like with Pluto also, it could be Scorpio. So yeah, if that's, my goodness, I feel like I'm throwing out a lot of different signs and stuff, but if this resonates, then take it. Like if I've kind of thrown out a sign that resonates or like is your person, or whatever, then take it. Keep in mind this is a general reading, so yeah. And to finish off, I'm gonna pick, again, my mom lent me the Oracle deck, so we're going to get a personalized card for you. We'll see if one pops out. Oh! Okay. So the real you. This card may apply to you or this person, but this card represents having to go inward and figure out kind of what you actually want. So with the given reading, I feel like this person needs to do some work on themselves. And I mean, if you're sort of taking that as something that you need to do too, like, take what resonates. But yeah, I think this person, probably in their focus to do a bunch of other things in the external world, has kind of neglected parts of themselves that they need to sort of realign. Yeah. So I think even though I'm seeing like love and celebration and friendship in this, I think your person that you're asking about just needs some time to get things in order. They've got some things like internally that they're dealing with, and like their business work, whatever they're dealing with right now, and then like the fears and anxieties and stuff that they're working through. So I think this person benefits from having you in their life with the Three of Cups card. And they definitely like appreciate you and love you even. Whether that's like platonic or not, it's hard to say. I think they're at a point where they're not even really sure. But, yeah, they just need to work on themselves a bit. So that is all I'm seeing for you, Group 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you again. Bye. Hello, my Group 2s. If you picked the Peach Moonstone, then this reading is for you. So I've left the Oracle cards on the side here, so we'll be shuffling those in live action today. And I have some tarot cards that I pulled for you before I started recording, so we'll get to those and then have sort of these as further clarifiers on maybe your person's astrological sign and some extra information. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with the Book of the Dead Tarot. So the cards I pulled for you are the Devil, the Page of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So with the Devil card, in relation to your person, they might be So the Devil card, I'm like trying to figure out how to word this. Because the Devil card does represent like addiction and stuff, so there may be something, there may be like a bit of a red flag, I guess. Quite literally this card is red with addictions, and could be negative for the overall relationship that you have with this person. But at the same time, the Devil card also represents like sexuality, so there may be like a really strong sexual connection between you and the person that you're asking about. I guess like as we reveal more cards, we'll kind of see that. But yeah, with this card in the first place, I feel like it's kind of a representation of like a red flag kind of thing, something to watch out for as you go through this connection, or just something that maybe your guides want you to know about it. because it also represents like attachment, so that might be sort of a call for you to look at this relationship as more of an attachment than it is like anything else. And I'm not saying that for everyone, but I mean, if it resonates, then it resonates. But it also does represent like having to deal with the shadow self, sort of that dealing with the dark sides of self. So it could also represent the person that you're asking about is kind of doing that right now, going through a bit of a dark time of self-reflection, or just like eliminating some of their negative behaviors. So if it is addiction, then with this card, like they could already be working on it, you know? But I do see this, like my gut is kind of telling me that this is like a little alert, like be aware of the red flags with this person, and sort of figure out if like they're truly red flags, or if the person is like working through their own stuff. I'm like kind of remembering as I look at this card, this it's like a quote or something. I'm gonna butcher it, but basically it's saying like don't date someone for their potential, because you never really know what they're gonna turn out like, basically. But with the Page of Cups, I'm seeing like there is a possibility, you know, maybe this person is aware or interested in you, and there's a bit of curiosity. You might even have like almost an intuitive connection with this person, but again, red flags and stuff, like the intuitive connection that you have with them might cloud your judgment of them. So just something to be aware of. But like I am seeing this is like a really creative person, intuitive, and like they do see you as like a potential connection. And I mean, yeah, be wary, because with the Devil card, like this connection that they kind of see or feel might just kind of be towards the like sexual thing, and if that's what you're looking for, then great, that's dandy. But if you're looking for something else, just be wary of the red flags here. So the Two of Pentacles, and this one's in reverse. Interestingly enough, it represents like being overcommittal. So normally it's like in relation to work and stuff, which is also interesting. And like I had like a similar vibe with group 1, because there's Capricorn energy, and the Devil card literally represents Capricorn. So I'm seeing this as like kind of the dark side of Capricorn. But yeah, with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, I'm seeing like someone who's probably almost an all or nothing feel, just in terms of like how much they present to you. Like they might be really, really reserved and sort of leave you guessing and stuff, or they may like really go for it. And there's like not really much of an in-between, which leaves you guessing. But that might also be because they recognize their red flags and they're working on it, or they're kind of consumed by like their addictions. And I don't just necessarily mean addictions in terms of like substance abuse or stuff like that. Like it might be we'll use the Capricorn reference, like an addiction to working, where they're like literally overcommitted to their work. Or it may be like, I don't know, something like less impactful to the health, an addiction to overspending or something like that. And they kind of recognize it in their self or don't, you know. Either way, it's like something, if you are kind of intimate with them, it's something that you might have to deal with by proxy, I guess. We're gonna get into the Vampire Tarot. So the first card is the Three of Swords. This, this like hurts to read. I'm so sorry, group 2. This is the card that represents like emotional pain, being hurt, and like heartbreak. So this might be a connection that like kind of bites you in the butt. I think yeah, I think this is gonna be, I want to say, like, if you're not aware of like the negatives and like the shadow self and the red flags of the first card, but even if you are aware, like, I think it's gonna be really draining on you to kind of put your energy into this, especially like with the overcommitment card. This might represent you in terms of this relationship. So whether or not you're intimate with this person, like, I see you not doing well. I think you're putting a lot of time and attention into this relationship. And I know this is like hard to hear, especially if you're like not even, you know, together or anything. But yeah, I'm just the messenger. I'm sorry. It just looks like a painful kind of situation for you to be in. And I wouldn't really want that for you. So yeah, I'm seeing like a lot of effort, like you want to see the good in this person, and like I'm sure that they like are good, but I think right now it's going to, like, the overcommitment of energy and probably emotional energy and stuff is not going to serve you. It's gonna really, really hurt you, and probably leave you pretty exhausted. So we'll get more cards for that. We've got the Knight of Cups reversed. So with this card, man oh man. Okay, so with this card, it represents kind of like being imaginative, and the fact that it's kind of over this, like the representation of like seeing the good in people and like your intuitive connection and stuff like that. Like you want the best out of this relationship, but with this card in reverse, it's just looking like, it's looking like you're kind of creating these unrealistic ideas of what this relationship could be. It might make for some rough waters. Like I'm seeing moodiness, I'm seeing jealousy, probably some like, ooh, emotional manipulation, that kind of thing. So yeah, be careful, my group 2s. I really don't want to see you guys getting hurt. Okay, we're gonna pull the third card, and it is Temperance. Now I've seen some other readers on YouTube and stuff who see Temperance as like a spirit guide card. So this might be a representation. If it resonates, feel free to take it. But Temperance they see as like a spirit guide card. So at the end of the reading, like for your tarot, it might be just like a, hey, don't worry, like, despite all of this, you have your guides with you, and they're doing their best. Traditionally, it does represent like balance and moderation, so that could relate to this person's like addictions and stuff, and like getting those kind of in order. And that might be what they're working on right now, or something that they're called to do in the future, because this card also represents patience. So like, yeah, if this is a romantic connection, I'm almost feeling like it isn't a romantic connection now. Maybe like friend, familial, I'm not entirely sure. I feel like this could be a generalized kind of thing, because I feel like the patience card, like patience part of this card, doesn't necessarily relate to everybody who's going to pick this deck, but the patience card, like, maybe this is even someone's child, and like, you know, they're kind of dealing with their own stuff right now, and it's really heavy and negative, and like, you see the good in them, and like, you're overcommitted because like you're their parent or like a close loved one, and yeah, it's just like breaking your heart to see them in this state. Yeah, but Temperance is like a relatively good card to end with, I think, because it also like represents this sense of purpose and stuff. And I'm not saying like your purpose is to kind of help this person out, or like to kind of like dote on them hand and foot when they're going through a hard time, because ultimately, like, with shadow work, they have to do that on their own. They have to be the one to kind of decide that they're going to do that. But if this is a child or something, definitely like be patient and supportive. This is a lot, because I do see like emotional exhaustion with this. So just be careful, be aware of like, be aware of the red flags of this. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards. Hopefully they'll jump out for us. Is there anything else you need to know for group 2? Group 2's person. Oh my goodness, that was way too many to take. Okay, group 2's person. Any insight? Oh, this card wants to come out. Okay, so they may be a Sagittarius. That actually kind of makes sense. Sagittarians like to do a lot of things, move around a lot. They're often seen as like, I think it's a stereotype of being relatively non-committal. So with this card of being overcommitted rather, I feel like this is kind of demonstrating your involvement, but they don't look like they're on the same page as you, is what I'm getting here. So I'll try and pull one more card from this. Anything else? Anything at all for group 2's person? I guess not. Oh, okay. So, Scorpio. Okay, so with the Scorpio card, they may also be a Scorpio. Scorpios, again, stereotyping, but they're usually seen as like very sexual. So that in relation to the Devil card kind of makes sense. I'm kind of seeing this person as like someone who might be a little bit too focused on themselves right now to make room for a person, make room for you if that's who you're asking about in terms of like a romantic thing. But Scorpio also represents like secrecy. So if this, like I said before, is about a child, or like someone in your family, there's like an element of secrecy as well, and like that non-committed energy. It's gonna be really hard to like talk them into doing something for themselves. Like they've gotta decide that. I'm gonna shuffle the oracle here, see what comes out for you or for your person. Again, if there's something that like resonates and I've kind of said it about you or your person, then take what resonates with you and stuff. But the card that came out for you is Liberation. This is a new card for me, so I am going to read what it says, but immediately my first thought is like releasing that need to be present, like that overcommitment and stuff that we saw with the Two of Pentacles. But as per the book, Liberation says, oh my gosh, okay, so a person who recently hurt you or disappointed you in some way is simply a mirror for the hurt and disappointment you already held inside. All the events of your life, regardless of whether you label them good or bad, are simply acts of love. The hurt or disappointment you now feel is an opportunity for you to examine what it is that you don't love about yourself. It's safe for you to open up your heart. Love yourself as you are and stop placing unreasonable expectations on yourself. Through self-acceptance comes a newfound sense of freedom, which transforms the way you see life and the world around you. Oh! So, what I just read, feel free to turn the speed of the video down if you wanted to hear it slower. I am rushing because I'm running out of time. But, yeah, if something kind of resonated, and I know the book is like talking about your relationship with yourself, but there might be like expectations that you had for this person that they're not upholding and you're angry about it. But this is also kind of saying like what they're going through is something that maybe you need to reflect and look at within yourself as well. Like, look at what your red flags, I guess, are. Things that, like, maybe you need to work on. Things that you avoid in terms of, like, being committed to or just that kind of stuff. See what you need to let go of. But that is what I'm seeing for you, Group 2. Sorry that this reading was a bit heavy, but I hope that it gave you a little bit of insight. Thank you.